make an opening statement?
Coach, if you could make an opening statement, that'd be great.
First of all, I just want to say that, I was impressed with the athleticism of Georgia and their toughness on the boards. We played some of the best teams in the country, and that's one of the best rebounding teams that we faced. But I was even more impressed with our play on the defensive end. I thought our holding them to 53 points is an amazing job defensively, as many capable scorers as they have. And I was just really impressed with our guard play in particular. I really thought our guards got after it in the first half. Ty Marshall, Alex Montgomery, Mimi Walthour. I really thought that they stepped up and made some big plays early on. And one of the things I said the other day in the press conference after we beat Middle Tennessee is Mimi Walthour is the one player that nobody talks about. And without her, there's no way we win games. I mean, she is the quarterback out there on the floor, and the fact that, one of the things we asked of her starting into this season, we told her, we can't play 4 against 5, we need you to score. Well, score, she had 19, 16, and she really puts up some big numbers for us on the offensive end, but she's done that. The impressive thing is, in 21 days, she's played 11 games and averaging 38, 39 minutes a game. So that's just an amazing statistic when you look at it. But just really pleased with this win. Obviously, the largest margin of victory ever in the history of our program over Georgia. That says something about the direction of our program. And that's the thing that I'm proud of, is that we've continued to grow this program. And, we started out this season playing some of the toughest teams in the country. And before going into this game against Georgia, it was always our biggest game to date when we played them. And I think that really helped us playing those top teams and prepared us for what we would see today.
Coach, you forced them to, on the defensive end, for them to use the entire shot clock most times, and that was really one of the stories of the game, I think.
Well, I really thought that our kids did a great job. We decided this game to switch everything, switch all the screens, because they run a lot of screens, and we felt like they took a lot of jump shots. And so we felt like our post players could contest. Dribble penetration is hard for us when guards are attacking, but when guards are shooting jump shots, it's easier for us to switch everything. So that's how we came into this game, and I thought we did a pretty good job staying between them and the basket.
For the two girls, did you feel like you could get to the hoop anytime you wanted? It seemed that way today.
Well, it seemed that way. I mean, Coach started out the game telling us to be aggressive and attack the rim. And in the beginning of the game, we had a couple openings in their press, particularly, that was the game plan, to come in and attack the rim, and it just seemed to work for us tonight.
Same here. I think our motive is to be aggressive. We have to start off aggressive, so it's not really that they gave it to us, but we know how to attack it, how to be aggressive and be strong, and just get to the basket.
Coach, Tiana there in the second half, freshman, first time playing at Georgia, but really ended up getting 7 points. It sparked that run. You guys had a 13-3 run. How big was kind of that offensive spark she gave you guys? It seemed like she kind of gave everybody a lift.
Well, the thing about Ty is, she is an offensive threat. She had a couple games there where she struggled a little bit offensively, but I wasn't worried about it, because to ask a freshman to play 11 games in 21 days against the best teams in the country and be your leading scorer is a little difficult. But I thought that I knew she was going to bounce back the other night. She had 13 points in 16 minutes. I really felt like she was going to get it together. And tonight, when you have Alex Montgomery sprinting as hard as she does down that right side, you got Ty Marshall sprinting as hard as she does down the left side, somebody's going to be open. And I think a lot of the times they're overplaying, looking at Alex, and Ty's on the other side, and Mimi's been able to find her. But I also think Ty does a great job of keeping it simple. If you overplay her, she takes you to the rim. If you stay back, she shoots a jump shot. And I think that's one of the things about her throughout the course of this year so far. She's been able to just keep things simple and not overreact to anything. She's very consistent. And I think that's one of the things that helps her out there on the floor.
Coach, how nice is it to get, obviously those games, you schedule those tough games for later in the season, but it's tough when you keep coming up short, but to knock off a ranked team and to kind of, like you said, maybe does it help to kind of spread the net? Okay, so we were on the right track. We just had to get over. Well,
you know what? I told our players in the locker room after the game that the fact that we went out to the Virgin Islands and we lost to Georgetown and we lost to Tennessee, and we obviously didn't play well in the first half of the Tennessee game, but when we outscored them in the second half and ended up out-rebounding them, and then we came back and beat Missouri, I thought we showed a lot of character. We thought we showed what we were made of. And we weren't going to quit. We were going to be resilient. And we came back here, and then we beat a very good Northwestern team. And that team's going to win a lot of games this year. And I thought that really helped us. And then we stepped up and beat Middle Tennessee State, who was in the Sweet 16 last year, which you can't rest on anybody like that that's in a program that's winning. And then today to be able to beat Georgia by 16 points, I think it just says a lot of the toughness and the character of this team.
You protected the ball well, only 11 turnovers today.
Yeah, one of the things we talked about, and we've been talking about it all year, I think they're tired of hearing it, is turnovers and fouls. Okay, I tell them 15 fouls, 15 turnovers. That's it. And I think if we can start having less than 15 turnovers, less than 15 fouls, we can beat anybody. But you're not going to beat anybody with 20 turnovers and 20 fouls. Bob, did you have something?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, you obviously can answer a question that nobody else can since you play Tennessee and Connecticut. Can you give me a little synopsis on the two teams?
Well, I think, obviously, I think UConn has the best player in the country, maybe possibly one of the best players in the world. And there's no doubt about it that she can put a team on her back and carry them against anybody. So I think that kind of separates Connecticut a little bit. I do think that Tennessee has more depth. I do think Tennessee has more experience. And when they get Alyssa Brewer back, they've got tremendous size inside. And I think that Gloria Johnson's the best rebounder in the country. And then next to her would be Portia Phillips. I mean, those two are two very, very special rebounders. And so to me, Tennessee wins the matchup on the inside. UConn wins the matchup with Maya Moore because I think she refuses to lose, and I think that she's got the toughness. I know I didn't really answer your question. I think it'd be a great game for women's basketball to see that. Yeah.
I know you've been big on with this program trying to take steps and moving it forward. And how big of a step is it for you to now maybe get to a point where you guys feel like we're at a point now with Georgia where we feel like we can beat them every time now? We're not at the point where we maybe 3-29, 4-29, but it's been 4 out of the last.
I wasn't here for all those, so I don't take credit for it. One of the things, only thing I control is what I control, and that's since I've been here. And I will tell you this, that I told these guys, today at practice, it's not an upset if we win. Okay, we don't need to act like it's an upset because it's not. And we've beaten ranked teams before. We're expected to win at home. We're a very good basketball team. It would be an upset if they beat us here, in my mind. I can't worry about what's happened 20 years before I was here. The only thing I can worry about is that we show up. We have a responsibility to show up and compete because this is bigger than us. When Georgia and Georgia Tech play, it's about a lot more than just a basketball game. For us, we take it very seriously. And one of the things that we told them is, this isn't going to be the biggest game we played all year because and it hasn't been the biggest game we played to the date. I mean, we played the #1 team in the country, so we're going to have other big games, but it's important to us, and it was important that we showed up and played hard, and I felt like we did that.